Hi, I'm Brady Holt, and I'm the Director of Performance here at Quest in Cool Springs. I want to give you guys another follow-up video. Last time we covered variations on the split squat. A new variation I want to show you guys is something called a lateral squat. It's a very similar motion like the split squat. It's unilateral in its nature, but it's much more lateral as the name suggests. And obviously being able to move laterally in sport is definitely an important skill, especially when you're talking about soccer. So in terms of the lateral squat, the first thing we start off with is making sure that our feet are in the right place. So what I do is I offset my feet. I'm going to use this line as a reference point here. Notice that my right toe is behind the line and my left heel is in front of it. So I've got some space where I can take advantage of the flexion of my hip as I end up abducting. So if I recenter and you guys can see me from the front, in terms of the motion, my feet offset, I'm going to turn this left toe out a little bit. I've got my feet pretty wide. I'm going to shift my weight to the left as I push my knee out and I sit back into my hip. And notice what I'm looking for is the hip being flexed and lower just below the point of the knee here. So notice that my hip is flexed a little bit more than my knee is, and I'm really sitting back loading that. That's creating a really good stretch in my adductors here. I'm loading up my hamstrings and my glutes, and I'm making it a very hip-based motion. So if I'm going to do repetitions of it, each time I'm keeping my weight on my heels, pushing that knee out, sitting back, and then pushing the knee out, driving through the heel as I extend my hip to come up. So this is one that we can use to not only work on being able to move laterally, developing strength in the hips, strength in the knee, as well as mobility in the hips. A lot of times with all the athletes that we work with, this is an area where they're pretty weak, so we start working on this right from the very beginning. And I would encourage all of you guys to do the same thing. Starting off with body weight, then over time we start adding things like a kettlebell, holding it in a goblet position, or dumbbells at the side. We can get this loaded up as much as we want, or keep it as light as we want. So hopefully that's something that you guys can use that's helpful. Thank you again.